So while everyone is excited for Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Games Showcase, no one talks about the elephant in the room. It's all fine and dandy that we got a lower price on the Game Pass. Sure, we saved $7 from $30 to $22.99, which is $23. That's all fine and dandy, and I like that. We're getting, Gears of War exclusive. That's fine and dandy. But here's what's not fine and dandy. These consoles. I look at these consoles and I look at the fact that these consoles are an old consoles. They're not like brand new. When you look at Xbox Series X or Series S, you have to understand these are consoles from 2020. Remember, during a pandemic, 2020. This is like 6 years ago. Okay, these consoles are at its end cycle by the end of this year. And you got to ask yourself, well, wait a minute. Do I truly want to invest $700 or $800 on this 6 years old console called Xbox Series X? I know you can also find it used, but even used, you're looking at like close to 600. So 550, right? Plus tax, $36. You're looking at $586. So $586, you need to have $600 just to even buy a used version of Xbox Series X. And to me, that's a problem. And that's a 1 terabyte version, which gives you about like 800 gigabytes, which is nothing. What are you going to do with the 800 gigabytes? You're going to need to buy that dongle that has that extra, 1 terabyte, which also is going to cost you a lot of money. So the question I ask is, well, everyone's so excited about this, Xbox games showcase, right? Everyone's excited for PlayStation State of Play and all these games coming out, but no one's talking about like ridiculous prices of these consoles, dude. Who is going to be buying these consoles? What, 1%? Super rich? People who are making six figures? People who are making what? Quarter of a million a year? Okay, well, if you're that kind of an individual, good for you, but not everyone. Okay, I'm not speaking just for those of you who driving Teslas and BMWs and Porsches, right? I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for others out there, blue collar, middle class, making 40,000 a year, maybe 40,000 a year. So how are they going to be able to purchase this, dude? Not to mention just ridiculously expensive how these games are, like $70, $80, $100, $120, $150. Like, so no one seems to be addressing the elephant in the room, right? And I find it very interesting. All you see is a bunch of shills doing interviews with Matt Booty, standing in line. Those are shills that work for Xbox. Okay, let me explain something. All these guys that you see doing interviews with Matt Booty, you know who they are? They are partnered with Xbox marketing team. Do you understand this? I'll repeat it one more time. So in case you got ear swabs in your ears, they work for and partnered with Xbox marketing team. Same thing with the PlayStation. PlayStation has their own marketing team department. Same thing with Nintendo. Nintendo has its own marketing team, and they recruit certain influencers on YouTube to partner with them so they can promote their product. Now, if you didn't know this, I feel sorry for you, but now you know. All right, so what are you going to get from them? You're not going to get any kind of information. You're not going to get any kind of good questions asking Matt Booty or Ashish Sharma, right? So these are the influencers. Their job is to promote the product. I used to be a sales agent, certified, mind you, certified sales agent. So I know what I'm talking about. I wasn't born, 5 minutes ago. I didn't just cut my umbilical cord. All right. So if you guys don't know this, well then Maybe you need to learn and do some research. So I don't care what these influencers have to say. They're not going to say anything uh, beneficial that's going to benefit you. All they're going to tell you is go buy the product, go buy the product. That's what a sales agent does. Go buy the product so I can get, my recognition and get more goodies from the Xbox and get paid from the Xbox for, you know, making the quota of people putting my code name so you can purchase this console, purchase this product, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So no one seems to be talking about this. No one seems to be addressing the elephant in the room. And this is the elephant in the room. Is this? Is these consoles, man? They're too expensive. All right. Some of these consoles, man, just to get like a bare minimum standard 1 terabyte, you're looking at 650. Just to get a standard 800 gigabytes. I know it says 1 terabyte, but you only get 800 gigabytes. Okay, 800 gigabytes, it's nothing. You're still going to need to buy that extra 1 terabyte dongle. So think about it. You are paying 650 plus tax. I don't know where you are. If you're in a different country, it might be more than that. If you're in Canada, it might be more than that. If you're in Europe, it might be more than that. In North America, it's what, $36. So 550 plus the tax, $36. That's what? 650 plus 36. You're looking at what? $686, close to $700, dude. So for you to get a standard 1 terabyte, 800 gigabyte Xbox Series X version, you have to pay close to $700. That's just to get a 6 years old 2020 old GPU, old console. You have to pay $700. That's ridiculous, dude. And then you have to ask yourself, well, why should anyone this holiday season invest into a 6 years old hardware from 2020 that's coming to its end cycle, $700? Because you have to have $700 cash. Because you have to think about that $36 of tax. So 550 plus tax, $36, that's 586. Okay. I don't even need a calculator. I'm good. I used to be a sales agent. So, all right, I can already calculate how much you have to pay, the percentage of taxes. So, who's going to pay 700, close to $700 on these consoles? Who? So no one talks about it. Everyone's super excited, and then don't even get me started with PlayStation. Are you a mind? $900 plus $36 tax, so 900, yo, $936 you have to pay for a PlayStation 5 Pro. Think about that. Think about that. You have to pay $936. I don't know, depending where you are, you might be paying 1,000. But here in America, I think it's $936. $936, dude. You're paying close to $1,000, bro. Close to $1,000 for a console that's now what, 2 years old. It's just dynamic scaling resolution. It has nothing super special built into it. It's just scaling resolution. That's all it's doing. You're not going to see a difference. It's just scaling. You won't be able to tell a difference. It's impossible for your eyes to see a difference between your regular PS5. You might see a difference in the performance, but you're not going to see like a difference in graphics. Just the performance. But is it really worth paying $1,000 just to get a little extra performance? I don't think so. That is ridiculous. You shouldn't have to pay $1,000 for a mid-generation console. You might as well just go with a PC. At that point, if you're paying that kind of cash, just ask yourself this: if you're going to be going that route and paying $1,000, why don't you just go all the way, dude? Go all the way and get yourself a $3,000 PC and be done with it. I'm sorry, but this happens all the time. Whenever there's no music in the background, my headset turns off, right? It turns off, and there's nothing I can do about it. Unless you want me to play a Halo music in the background, maybe I should do that. Maybe next time I'll play Halo or Gears of War music in the background. Um, so ask yourself this question: and how much is this going to cost? This fluorescent Xbox, how much is this going to cost? Right? How much are we going to have to pay for this? For this 25th anniversary edition? How much are we looking? Is it 2 terabyte? 2 terabyte? $800? Or it might be $900, maybe maybe 850. Let's say it's $850. $850 plus tax. You're looking at $900. I know some people say, "Well, this is a collector's item." Yeah, but dude, still you're paying 900 dollars, dude. I don't know, man. I just I don't know what the price is going to be, but my problem right now is the price. You know, I can't be the only YouTuber that's actually talking about this. And this is the problem. Even if you have the money, it's still kind of like, dude, like, man, I'm wasting too much money on these consoles. Might as well just build the PC, dude. Get myself a 5090 and I'm good for 10 years. Actually, technically, with 5090, you're good for 20 years. You can trust me. You're good to like uh, 2040. Believe me, you will still be able to play these games, not at like high resolution and high settings, but like medium settings with 1440p or whatever. But you're good for next 20 years. So at least when you invest $3,000 on a PC with a 5090, at least you know you're good for next 20 years. So you know you're good for gaming for next 20 years. And after 20 years, all right, then you'll see. Maybe it's time to, upgrade after 20 years, right? It's time to upgrade. Let's buy something else. Let's see what we have, right? But, looking at these consoles, man, it's just like they're already at the end cycle, right? And then you got Project Helix coming out next year. And you have to ask yourself, well, hold on a second, dude. Like, should I really invest this kind of cash into these old consoles when the Project Helix is coming out just around the corner? You know what I mean? I think the smartest thing would be save your money and wait for the Project Helix. At least when you know you're getting a brand new console, you're getting a brand new next generation console, so you're set for another 5 years or 6 years. So that's a worth of the investment for the next 6 years. You're good for next 6 years. With this, it's like, what I mean, it's like at the end of its cycle, and you're paying how much? Now, if you were paying only 500 or 400 used, if you could find this console for like $400 used, no problem, dude. Yeah, go buy one. It's only $400. It's not a bad deal. But dude, like the prices are ridiculous. Now, if Ashish Sharma can lower the prices for these consoles, that would be like the only like the only way I could see like you guys buying this. Majority of you buying this, but I can't see majority of you buying this. Investing your hard-earned cash for a console that's from 2020, the GPU from 2020. A 6 years old console. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it's like I'm just surprised no one's talking about this. Why is no one talking about this? Why is no one talking about like how expensive um, these consoles are? You know, and I know people will buy this no matter what. But that's a small percentage of people who have money. They don't care. But we're not talking about minority. We're talking about majority. Majority out there, dude, they cannot afford to purchase this. And on top of that, dude, the video games, ridiculously expensive. I feel like I'm the only one who's actually mentioning this. Everyone's acting like everything's fine, like everyone's made out of money. It seems like, There's some of you who are made out of money, I guess, but that's a small percentage of you YouTube influencers who get everything for free, uh, who make 20, 50,000 a year, and God bless you, good for you. But you also have to consider the fact that there's a lot of people out there who can't afford this holiday season. Sorry, son. Sorry, daughter. I can't. I need to put food on the table. I need to pay the rent. I need to, pay for the groceries. Sorry. I need to pay for your, you know, health insurance. This is not a priority. To a lot of parents, they're going to say, sorry, this is not a priority. Unless Asha Sharma can figure out the way to cut the prices on these consoles this holiday season, that's like the only alternative that I can see. If they cut the price, and how much they would have to cut the price, which cut the price down to like, my honest opinion, the standard Xbox Series X should be $400. And I know you're going to say, but why 400? Because it's an old console now. It lost its value. It's 6 years old. It's coming to its end cycle. You shouldn't have to pay for an old hardware $500. It's an old hardware. You should pay 400 for an old hardware. That's just my thinking. If we're going to be fair, if we're going to be fair, if this company, Microsoft, wants to be fair, which I don't think they will. I don't think any company is fair. How do I know that? Because I used to be a sales agent. They're not in business of being fair. They're in business of ripping you off and making money. That's the bottom line. That's a fact. But if they really wanted to be fair, and if Asha Sharma wants to be fair, she'll talk to Satya and she'll say to Satya, don't you think it's fair that we cut down the price to these consoles to $400 so people can buy it this holiday season and we can make some money? Because it's a console that's coming to an end, to its end cycle after 6 years. We shouldn't be charging people this kind of money. 650, 700, 800, 900. We shouldn't be doing that. But I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to happen because Microsoft is already struggling. They already lost a bunch of money. And Satya will say that's out of the question. We need to make as much money as possible out of these consoles. And that's that. So, look, what am I basically saying here? What I'm basically saying here is no one's talking about this elephant in the room. Everyone's just acting like, oh yeah, hoorah, 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 hooray, hoorah, hooray. Let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya, Xbox great. Kumbaya, Kumbaya, Xbox great. Kumbaya, PlayStation's great. Yet everyone's ignoring the prices, the price tag on the consoles. Everyone's ignoring how ridiculously expensive these games are. Only oh no, it's Alex has been addressing this. Honestly, the only YouTuber who actually has been addressing ridiculous prices is the oh no, it's Alex, and he's like, "Are you kidding me, dude? Like, this is ridiculous," you know? And he's right. And I know even PCs are expensive. PCs are expensive as well. That's out of the question as well. But what Alex is saying is, if you're going to be paying this kind of money for some old hardware from 6 years ago, 2020, might as well go down the PC route, dude. If you're going to be spending this kind of cash, why not go all the way and spend $3,000 and be done? Be done and get yourself a 5090 and be done for another 20 years or another 10 years. 10 years, that's good. That's a decade. So for one decade, you invested a good experience of gaming for another decade. But I believe it can last you more than a decade with a 5090. So why not go that route and enjoy yourself for another 10 years? That's all I'm saying. And he's right. I mean, might as well go with the PC. And I think a lot of people will go the PC route, honestly, because this is just the consoles. The whole idea of console was to be affordable. Remember the good old days, like back in 2016, when you can buy an Xbox One S with a built-in 4K player, 4K upscaling, and HDR, all of that included for $300. Those are the days I miss. I miss the good old days of Xbox 360, of Xbox One. I remember the Xbox One for $300, right? The good old days. PlayStation 2, $300. Good old days, man. But we don't see that anymore. What we see now, it's just these ridiculous prices, man. And don't even get me started. Don't even get me started with Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Sorry. There's nothing I can do about it unless maybe next time I'll play a Halo music in the background or Gears of War music in the background, you know. All right. Maybe that's what I'll do next time. I'll play some, Halo or Gears music in the background while I'm doing a commentary. Sorry about that. Anyway, like I said, Jesus Christ. No one like what about the prices of the gaming? It's a one thing that these consoles are super expensive. That's a one thing. But how about the games? It's like I said, it's not bad enough that these consoles are ridiculously. Oh, don't even get me started with the PS5 Pro. I mean, $900 plus tax, $1,000 for a console, dude. Yo, and what are you getting? Just some performance at 1440p scaling resolution? I don't think so. Not paying 1,000 for that. Forget it. I don't care what anybody says. Not paying that kind of cash, man. Forget it. I'm saving that money for PS6. You have to be mental. I don't care if you have money. Even if you have money, dude, you still have to be mental to waste your $1,000 on the PS5 Pro, or to waste your $800 on some 20 or $900 on a 25th anniversary console that's 6 years old. All I'm saying is it's not bad enough that these console prices are super ridiculously expensive. It's not bad enough that the economy is bad. It's not bad enough that people are losing their jobs. They have no jobs. And on top of all of that, if this is not bad enough, now you have the games, $70 each. Not every game should be $70 plus tax. Not every game should be $80 or $90 or $100 or $120 or $150. The gaming is just out of reach to a lot of people right now, dude. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is, and it's sad that I'm the only one mentioning this elephant in the room. Others are. Where's everyone else mentioning this? Where's everyone else talking about this ridiculousness? Everyone else is just shilling for their marketing partners like Xbox and PlayStation. No one's like really addressing the big elephant in the room. And I'm probably the only YouTuber that's actually, or maybe me and oh no, it's Alex. They're addressing this huge elephant, huge Godzilla in the room that no one wants to address, like ridiculousness of like how expensive it is to 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 enjoy this hobby. It is a hobby. It's not a necessity. Gaming, it's a luxury. It's to me, it's not a necessity. Necessity is the food, water, medicine, roof over your head, car, right? Health insurance, you know, stuff like that. Electricity, utility bills, internet, those are necessities. This is not a necessity. This is just a luxury. But this luxury has become only for the rich people. Like you really have to be rich. You have to be filthy rich and have money to enjoy uh, this hobby. Back in the days, it wasn't like that. Everyone was able to enjoy it in the mid '90s, in the mid '80s, right? In the good old days, even the early 2000s, people were able to enjoy consoles because they were affordable. Plus, the economy was better back then, so that helps. Everyone had jobs, the economy was good. Um, but those were different times. But now, forget it, man. Like, and I don't want to spend too much time on this video. I already spent too much time. I'm just addressing the elephant in the room that no one wants to address. And it's really sad that I'm the only one. It's just me and oh no, it's Alex that are like, you know, trying to address and acknowledge this huge Godzilla in the room. No one wants to address this huge Godzilla in the room. And people should be talking about this, man. Like this is ridiculous. And these are the questions that you should be asking, like these executives from Sony and Microsoft. Like, guys, how do you expect people to buy? Whom are you selling these consoles to? Super rich, wealthy, those who live in Beverly Hills, whom are you selling this console to? Not everyone's driving a Bentley, Mercedes. Not everyone can afford, you know. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. The gaming has become for the elite. Like you have to be wealthy. It's like privilege. It's like almost become like a privilege. That's that's where we are, dude. And I'm just gonna end the video by saying that to enjoy video gaming nowadays, it's like a privilege. It's like a very expensive privilege, which is just so ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like this expensive just to enjoy this hobby called gaming. It's ridiculous, you know. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I feel like Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump. That's all I had to say about that. All right, guys. Well, that's the video. It's a long video, I know, but there's so much I needed to address here. There's so much I needed to say. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.